So this is part 2 of everything that's wrong with the new Defender. And in this video we're going to talk mostly about the 3-door Defender, and we will mention some of the things as they relate to the 5-door, the 100 versus the 120. And anyway, we'll get into the design and a few other things, and what this really is a spiritual successor to. So the first thing is the seating capacity. So this 3-door 100 new Defender compared to the original classic 90, you've got the 90 had a max seating capacity of 7. So now the new one will seat 6, which is it's almost 86% of its original capacity as far as seating goes, which is not a major drop considering crash testing and all that stuff, the modern requirements. So as opposed to on the larger trucks, you were talking 63 or 64% of its original capacity. And so in that way, this shorter, smaller Defender is a much better success. Now, the other parts of it, there are some other things to do with the design, I think, that are better suited, than the larger 5-door vehicle. The first thing being the Alpine lights. So those Alpine windows on this new 3-door are actually in the correct position. So as opposed to being in the Discovery position behind the rear, behind the second row, these ones are actually in the right position just behind the B pillar, and they're longer just like they were in the 3-door. So anyway, that part of the design is more in standing with the original Defender. The third thing, I guess, in this case is the rear gate, and something that I haven't seen anybody talk about, but that rear seat is a 3-position seat, and in the original Defender 90, the 4 passengers got into the back by the rear door. So, which is one thing that differentiates this from the old Defenders. This now has a wide swing gate as opposed to a door, but in this case, the rear passengers can get in through the front doors, but they can also, if there's one of them getting in, they can also get in from the rear door. So it's a 360, a 40-20-40 seat in the rear, so you can actually pop down that 20 section and crawl through the center of it. So that is more in keeping with the original Defender. So now I want to talk about what it really is the successor to, or what I believe it really is the successor to, and what really upsets me about why they're passing this off as a Defender. This design, when you compare it to the old design, you might be able to see some of the cues, the rear windows, the slope of the roof, a hip line, although they're not similar hip lines, they both have one. The hoods and the designs are not the same. So the thorough design is not really Defender, but there's a few cues there that tie them together. But really the next part of it is purpose. This design always allowed you to take the rear quarters off. You could make it into a 1/4-ton truck, or a pickup truck. You could take it off and put a box or a flatbed on the back of it. The new one is a car, and the quarter panels are not unboltable, and you cannot modify it in the way that you could with a Defender. So that's what when you put these two things back to back, this is what makes me believe that this is really a successor to the original Discovery. So this Discovery, when you compare this to the original Discovery, they both had rear swing gates, right? The old Defender had a door. They both don't have unboltable or modifiable rear quarter panels. They're welded on. You're going to need a body shop to fix that. The other thing is, when you see them, you realize they're both 100-inch wheelbases, So when you notice that, so you've got a vehicle with a similar face, with similar rectangular headlights, with a similar body line as far as the hip line goes, a similar hood design, both on a 100-inch wheelbase, and both available as a two-door with a rear swing gate. Now, when you see the original concept vehicle for the Discovery, you realize that it was in their mind at that time to possibly, get rid of the Defender and replace it with this new, more modern vehicle. And I think they weren't very long realizing that they were better off, to keep the Defender and to sell this. So it was downsized. The Defender was 110 inches. This is 100 inches. So, they didn't want to replace that full-size vehicle. This is another one of these issues that I'm having with these new Defenders, is the new Defender is smaller than the Discovery, and a Defender has always been larger than a Discovery. So, with as far as the four doors are concerned, so now what we have is a vehicle that doesn't fit in the lineup where it used to. It doesn't have the purpose that it used to. It doesn't have the design that it used to, and it's not made in that same way that's rebuildable or moldable, or that mechanotype fixability that the original had. So really, it doesn't have any of the features that made the Defender so desirable, because it was a long-term vehicle. You knew when something broke on a Defender that it was as easy as a mechanoset to pop that part off and fix it. And that is what is ultimately wrong with this new Defender, is you're never going to have that type of freedom to make those changes anymore. So this is a Discovery in design. It's a Discovery in platform, because it's actually built on that LR3, LR4 modified version of that platform. It's built on their same tooling in the same factory, and basically what they're doing is they're passing this off as a Defender, when really in every possible way, design and purpose, and and its mechanical composition, this is really a Discovery through and through. And what that means is the real true successor to the Defender 90 now is the new Bronco two-door. Like the new Discovery three-door, they're both 100-inch wheelbases. They're both in the high 70 inches wide, and this one's going to offer the wheels and tires and lockers and removable roof and removable doors and removable quarter panels, swappable fenders, swappable everything that you can think on the new Bronco is available to be taken off with a bolt or a Torx bit, and so a handful of tools and you can disassemble the whole vehicle. And that is the spirit of the original Defender, and that is what Land Rover has lost.